Well, we have unutilized land right now on Burbick Street that we're gonna look to do a reverse subdivision on. Again, if we would look to sell that land, it would still go to the highest bidder, but then we could recoup some of the money we spent to acquire that land on Burbick and Johnson for, we hope to put a new firehouse. So, you know, we're gonna try and explore that path maybe with the Y. Again, they might not get the funding to be able to put a building anywhere. So this could all be for naught anyway, but if we don't start having these conversations in public, then it's hard to, you know, kind of know what direction the borough wants to go. We're used to, and I know there's people here previously in council, if you get 3 or 4 people in a room, it's a exciting night. So glad whether it was for better or worse that there's a large crowd tonight to have some input. And sure.
Is there a reason that we have these meetings at 5 o'clock? I work in Wilkes-Barre and I only work early to get here. You know, it's a little bit challenging. I didn't even know that these working meetings are open to the public, to be honest, and I've lived here over 20 years, so I just didn't know.
Yep.
But, you know, not to repeat everybody's feelings, but totally against the park thing. I live on Burbank Street, 700 block. If the property on Burbank Street is considered, if you could also take into consideration that parking is only allowed on one side of the street on Burbank Street, it's really hard for residents as is.
Sure.
In that area. So if that is a path, would you please consider that?
Oh, certainly. They would still have to put a parking lot in, and we do have an alley behind that property that they would utilize, obviously, to get in and out of the building. So I don't think we'd have a trouble as far as parking would be concerned if they ever decided to utilize that location.
Yeah, I mean, I like hearing the kids playing at the park and, you know,
Sure.
coming down from school to go to the park after school, and, you know, so, you know, let out the kids in the community, you know, to totally not against that, but.
I would go, you know, as far as the work sessions, again, typically we're lucky to get 4 or 5 people. We're lucky to come to a meeting, and work sessions really just for, you know, in hindsight, maybe we should have had a special meeting or just a Q&A session for this because where we wound up time-wise, but typically it's just for council to discuss ideas. The regular meeting where there's voting action starts at 6 p.m. so more people could attend from the public. So, but we change that every year too, right? Yep.
I'm looking forward to we have streaming.
We're very close.
So tough.
Unfortunately, our council president who's working on those things is out of the country at this time, so you're lucky we're getting this much tonight. So.
I just have a question about Johnson Street. I live the 500 block of Johnson.
Sure.
And that street is full, both sides, almost every day. But when they make the one side no parking, where are we supposed to go? Is there any way to put something up on the corner? You know, no parking from here to corner so that they can get around it?
Well, we have a suggestion.
Sure.
Because the whole street isn't narrow. It's only the last year, the top half of the street where new people have moved in and they don't park to the curb.
That's what really prompted us because really this comes down to, you know, life safety. Our plow truck drivers in the winter have a lot of trouble getting through there. Probably couldn't get a fire truck through there in an
But
emergency.
it's not the entire block, it's only the top half of the block.
Sure. Yeah.
So could one side or both sides put a sign 60 feet from the end, no parking from here to corner, instead of having the whole street parked on one side?
Right, I would have to, you know, defer to the solicitor about how you would change an ordinance after it's already been, you know, advertised, and if we can modify it or.
Well, this we're.
Oh, yeah, I mean, right, this has happened other places in town where the cars were corner to corner and somehow they changed the parking to one side and cars still found a place to go. There's a lot of off-street parking on Johnson Street.
Yeah, for the individual people that have a
Sure,
driveway, but
sure.
not for everybody.
Right.
If I could, this has been considered and dropped and picked up for more than 4 years, to be honest. Before most of these folks were up at the table, Mr. Fisher was party to that. We did this in the 700 block of Ridge Street, so from Bethel Baptist to front. And yeah, I mean, it's a tough thing to tell people, like, it's been this way, but it really comes down to the numbers. You measure it, and there we were dealing with a road that was 18 feet, 8 inches wide, and fire
But it's
engines
only
and
at the
garbage
top
trucks
of the
and
street.
It's worse up there. Yeah, I'm not saying that your counter proposal isn't bad, but anybody who says it needs to stay just the way it is, because you can't get fire engines through, ambulances. I drive a Subaru Forester, and I have to fold my mirrors in sometimes, get out of my car and fold my mirrors in as I'm approaching Pine Street. So something needs to be done there,
There's stuff on that end.
and it's not just the last year. Really.
The whole street, the street's wider down
It
by
is.
Burbage.
Yeah.
It's very much wider.
Yeah.
You get up the top, it narrows down.
Yeah.
And they wanna block the whole street, one side. That's crazy. There's
And,
nothing gonna stop them from going up and coming back 60 feet and putting a sign up on the side, whatever, because some of them, there's 4 houses on one side of the street, 17 or 18 homes on the other side. Now, wintertime, they put a snow ban. We all have to move on the odd side of the street. Now they're gonna build a fire station down where a lot of us park our vehicles. Where are we gonna park when they come out with the fire ban? Now, the whole thing is, it's not only the garbage truck and the fire trucks making the turn. It's winter time, all the time. It's a problem, and they're addressing it the wrong way.
well, it's tough for them, because public safety is what it comes down to. I've been in that position. I'll tell you, this block of Main Street right here between Ridge and is the next one that it either needs to go to no parking on one side, or it needs to be one way heading out this way. And there's other streets like that, and I mean, you know, they're in a tough spot to try to address it, but I'm just saying something needs to be done there. I agree, maybe it's more towards the end as opposed to the whole thing.
One side, no parking up on the top.
That's what we're suggesting.
We'll take it under advisement and consideration, sure.
Thank you.
And just to close out the original issue,
Yeah, sure.
I want to thank everybody on council for showing up tonight, and for, you by rights could have said to everybody, you have 3 minutes at the end of the meeting, and then sit down and shut up, but you allowed it to be interactive, you allowed it to go over time, and you didn't have to do that from a legal standpoint, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
Just probably forewarn that we'll have after we get through the work session, we might look to move the regular meeting, depending how late we go here, because we're already into regular meeting time, so we'll see how it goes. So we might look to continue the regular meeting. What, do you have something else? You were saying no to something, I didn't know if you had a,
No, I'm sorry.
you okay with the regular meeting, maybe be another day or something, right? Okay. Just making sure you have opposition from the public. What's that?
Continue carrying this claim.
We're, yeah, I think that's the plan here. I'm just gonna let, Dave, I know you were running a little late. I read your, engineer's report into the meeting, and, same with you, Chuck, I did read your report into the meeting.
My only question was the
For the,
10123. Was that discussed?
the certificate of appropriateness?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Yep, we need you for that, if possible.
Yeah,
Yeah, because there's some discrepancies with what the next action is here, so. Okay. On to administration. Quick admin update. Another, this is a personal thing for me, because there's random people that stroll in and kind of poke Heather now that she doesn't have to do garbage bills anymore, and all other things that go on in this borough. So, past few months, liquid fuels audit, 2024 borough audit, it's been an ongoing process that probably started in January. It's document, yeah, March, continual document dumps. They were just in here doing more reviews with that. Fed ARPA audits we're dealing with. She's taking classes for writing effective grant proposals, role of the municipal treasurer. They're working on the Penvest application, which is extremely tedious. Every other day, another Zoom call or dumping paperwork, progress meetings, and finally the closing with that. So We'll move on to B, payroll module increase. The new cost will be $740 a year, it's $400 a year. This is for Cougar Mountain Software for payroll. I think they changed the per person rate.
It is per person now. It wasn't
Okay,
before.
it is now per person.
Yeah, because their vendor changed.
Okay. Next one we got is PMRS, the MMOs. That's the PA Municipal Retirement System. That's our minimum municipal obligation that the borough has to contribute. I believe for this year, we're zeros across the board, so there's no change to that or no contribution required. So we have put forward a proposed resolution establishing procedures for payment of bills between public meetings. Where did this come from? From Association of Boroughs?
Yeah, it's the Association of Boroughs.
Okay, I just got a couple of my documents here. So what this allows is for the Secretary Treasurer to have the authority to pay certain bills in between meetings and not have to wait for payment of bills, so we don't come into a situation where we're getting late fees because when the meeting falls and when we actually, approve the payment of the bills. So it'd be a simple resolution. The bills we're looking to be able to pay in between meetings without approval from council would be mostly utilities, PP&L Electric, Penn Teledata Internet, UGI, YMCA Insurance, which is liability, workers' comp, and property insurance, and our SWIFT, which is the State Workers Insurance Fund. So, anyone have any questions about that? No? Okay. Next one we got is it's time for dental insurance renewal. I know we were going with Beam. I don't know, Heather, if you have any more, was there savings involved there?
Right, there were savings.
Okay,
Yeah, I think right now it's 24.72 per person. With the Concord, it'll be 18 something.
okay,
Higher limit to what you spend.
okay. Everyone got that? Higher limit, I think it's 3,000.
3,000.
Spend and about $600 a person a year savings approximately, or something along those lines.
No, not that much.
Oh, okay.
No, $18 per person.
Oh, 18.
18, yeah.
I'm thinking thousands.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, $18.
Gotcha. All right. All right. Current grant applications that we have out. The first thing, we're working with Barry Isit. Hopefully for next month, we'll be able to present the 2025 to 2028 funding strategy. Trying to get a more comprehensive approach to tackle some of these streetscapes and roads and other things we're interested in doing. So we have a rough draft, waiting to, I think Penvest is a little calmed down now, so we could get with Dave to look at some roads for priority for grant strategies. Statewide LSA app for 300-400 block of Center Street. We're looking to do another, to keep building on that 300-400 block streetscape project. Luzerne County LSA, we just need to approve a signers via resolution. We already moved forward with applying for that grant. It's just another step in the process where we decide who the signers will be for those documents. TASA, that's a federal funds controlled by the state. That's submitted. We're waiting to have a meeting with them. Hopefully by the beginning of October, then we'll be, they'll notify us if we're allowed to move to the next phase of that application. The MTF is submitted. Codification, I have nothing to do with that. I think Josh is, Frank?
Yeah, still working on all the typos, blocking, spacing. Once that's done, then it'll come to council for evaluation.
Okay. Moving on to phone system upgrade. Those have been talked about it for a few months now. We were unfortunately hit by a lightning strike several months back. It ruined the circuit board in our equipment. T3 has been loaning us, I get no cost, right? Right, so after September, they will begin charging us rental for the equipment. So they've gone back and forth. 3-year plan is the most reasonable. We're looking at $2,871, that's for all the labor, install, upfront equipment. They'll provide the phones for free, and then we're looking at $202 a month. I believe that's for 8 lines and 1 fax for the borough. I think that's maybe less than even what we're paying now, or around the same. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Solid waste summary, including Pam's update. So Pam's is our new bill collector. To date, they've collected $114,187.69 in delinquent garbage accounts, and they've collected $252,451.91 in current bills. To date, actually, we paid another $14,400 into the general fund last week, which is not reflected in the financial report because it happened in September. So we're up to $72,000 that has been reimbursed to the general fund to date from the garbage account, and I believe we're right around $200,000 in there. So there's definitely a noticeable change in, you know, the situation with the garbage. So everything seems to be working pretty well there. Delinquent account collections by PAMS. This is to start, oh, no, I did that one. Discuss for round of lien executions. That's Freddie, you're supposed to get to work on that, I guess, with Heather.
I'm working with, yeah, I'm just wrapping it up.
Okay, very well. Next one, possible rebate or discount for low-income senior citizens. So I had some discussions with Anthracite, and if, you know, collections and billing continues as is, and they're lukewarm to the idea of changing the billing in the garbage for seniors. Now, we'll probably have to do this in phases. We're hoping for, this would maybe start for the June bill. So there'll be an application process probably. It'll go by income or whatever other requirements we have to do. We'd have to establish the guidelines. Might open up to, like, say, 100 residents.